Live from the Wallace Civic Center in Fitchburg, Massachusetts, the Falcons look to keep it rolling in the second half of a home-and-home series. For the third and final time during the regular season, it's the Fitchburg State Falcons and the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs. Hi, everyone. Welcome into the pregame show here on FATV. Tim Foley and Daniel Bowak with you tonight as we continue to march toward the end of the regular season here in the 2021-2022 season. Fitchburg, after having their 5-game win streak to start the new year, snapped by Plymouth State back at the beginning of February. The Falcons have quickly gotten back to their dominating ways, having won each of their last 3 games by a collective score of 14-2, including a 5-1 victory over tonight's opponent, the Corsairs. A big piece of news to come out of that 5-1 win down in New Bedford on Tuesday, that Fitchburg has now locked up a top 2 seed in the MASCAC tournament. In years past, that would mean an automatic bye through the first round for the Falcons, but with the MASCAC ruling that all 7 teams will be making the conference playoffs this year, only the top seed gets a bye. The next 6 will all have to play a quarterfinal matchup, which means that there's still plenty to fight for down the stretch here, Daniel.
Indeed, and for Fitchburg State, just great to bounce back from that Plymouth State loss a little over a week ago. 3 wins, as you said, in a row, 5-1 against UMass Dartmouth on February the 8th. Thomas Hardy, Huddard Forden with 2 goals and an assist. Brian Glover getting his first goal of the year. Brian McGrath with 29 saves. Falcons with 2 power play goals in that one. And most notably, for me at least, it's, from what I can tell, it's the first time in the Dean Fuller era they went down to Hetland Arena and won by 4 or more goals.
And that's prominent. You know, it's been years coming that Fitchburg's been able to really take it to UMass Dartmouth down there. And we were talking about it a bit pregame. You know, Fitchburg's gone down there and scored upwards of, 5-6 goals before. But to win in a 5-1 deficit like that said a lot about the way Fitchburg was able to go down and play against UMass Dartmouth.
Yeah, and looking at the numbers all-time, 33, 43, and 8 against UMass Dartmouth all-time, 19, 16, and 6 in Fitchburg, which means you do the math and how they do in New Bedford. It's not a really... Obviously, UMass Dartmouth's had a bit of an advantage. They play at Hetland Arena, which is one of those cookie-cutter state rinks, 185 feet long, 85 feet wide. It's a shorter rink. It's a much different dimensions than you're used to the 200 by 85 standard that we see in a lot of the rinks around here. I was talking with Coach Fuller on Monday, the day before that game, and he mentioned that the team actually practiced at the Veterans Arena in Gardner, another one of the cookie-cutter state rinks, to get themselves acclimated to the short ice for that game, and that practice definitely paid off.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's just another one of the reasons you can look at Coach Dean Fuller and credit him for being one of the more intelligent coaches really within college hockey, is that he's adapting his players to the circumstances under which they're about to play a hockey game. It's really impressive thinking on his part. And the official number there down in New Bedford, Fitchburg is 13, 27, and 2 when they're on the road against the Corsairs time.
Yeah, that's about 1 every 3 games that end in a decided winner. It's Fitchburg coming out on top. Not a great average, about 330 or so winning percentage. So, yeah, just to come away with a win, but a win so lopsided, that's just great to see for the Falcons. And we were talking a little bit about with UMass Dartmouth, too, is they've been very inconsistent this season. They've had some good performances, but they have really struggled in the last 4 games. Besides losing to Fitchburg State 5-1, they lost to Plymouth by 4 goals. They lost to Salem by 3 goals. They lost to Framingham!
Yeah, it feels like the wheels have fallen off a bit here for UMass Dartmouth in the new year. They haven't had all that great of a performance here in 2022. They're just 2-5-0 out of the break, including that, as you mentioned, that loss to Framingham, that 3-2 overtime loss at home nonetheless against the Rams. And so UMass Dartmouth, despite some of their shortcomings recently, they're still in the thick of it for the conference standings. I mean, if we take a closer look at the conference standings right now, you have Fitchburg and Plymouth tangled up toward the top of the conference right now. Fitchburg with 24 points, Plymouth as well with 24 points, and then that's where the pack sort of starts to lag a bit. You have UMass Dartmouth at 11 points.
They actually have 13.
Excuse me.
I guess I should also mention here, now losing in overtime wasn't the worst thing in the world, because the new rules this year with 3-on-3 overtime means that if you lose in overtime in the MASCAC, you do get a point for that.
Okay.
Matching the NHL standard. So UMass Dartmouth did come away with a point in that one, but they also gave Framingham their first win against a Division III opponent this season, which is why that was such a shocking defeat.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. They do still get the point, which is valuable. But taking again a closer look here at what we have in regards to standings, UMass Dartmouth, third in the conference right now, still, despite kind of the rough patch they've hit recently, at 5-7-1. Those 13 points, thanks to in part the overtime loss, as you mentioned. Actually, 2 overtime losses this season.
The only 2 overtime losses in the MassCAC this season.
Yes, and then you have Worcester. They are currently in 4th in the conference at 5-6-1, 11 points on the year. Salem State, 5th in the conference at 5-8. They have 10 points. They're tied with Westfield for 5th in the conference, who also have 10 points. They are at 4-7-2. And then bottom of the conference, that Framingham State team now 1-11-0, thanks to that victory over UMass Dartmouth. So you have the top 2 teams, Fitchburg, Plymouth, and then everybody else, it feels like.
Yeah, there's a massive power gap between the top 2 and then the next 4. But as we've seen with this UMass Dartmouth team, they are not a team to be underestimated. They've had some pretty good performances this season, and they were, they have an overtime loss against Plymouth State. They have a tie against Westfield State and a victory as well. Well, they are a team that can hang into games, and in the back half of this home and home, they've had some time to stool over their loss. We'll see how they come out tonight.
So we'll take a moment and we'll allow tonight's public address announcer to announce the starting lineups for you here.
Overall, and 12-3, 0-0 in conference play. Now let's meet the starting lineups for the first visiting Corsairs. On defense, a junior from St. John, Indiana, number 2, Jake Maynard. A junior from Franklin, Tennessee, number 12, Ryan Mascali. And at forward, a junior from Mount Sinai, New York, number 6, Michael Perrone. A sophomore from Boise, Idaho, number 9, Dominic Dumas. A junior from Meridian, Ohio, number 16, Austin Miller. In goal, a senior from Summit, New Jersey, number 31, Parker Butler. The head coach for UMass Dartmouth in his 7th season is Eric Nowak, and he's assisted by Jeremy Ketz and Mike Sones. And now the starter lineup for your Fitchburg State Falcons. On defense, a junior from San Jose, Cali, number 3, Egan Wolford. A senior from Baldwinville, Mass, number 7, Brian Glover. A forward, a freshman from Billerica, Mass, number 8, Thomas Hardy. A junior from Newark, Delaware, number 10, Reese Bergerman. A junior from Enfield, Connecticut, number 21, Gene Boutet. And at goal, a senior from Worcester, Mass, number 21, Brian McGrath. The head coach for Fitchburg State in his 38th season is Dean Fuller. The associate head coach is Tom Patty. The assistant coaches are Vincent Gianbracco, Chris Kine, Mike Chatrin, and Kevin Perry. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please stand for the playing of the national anthem? This one.
Welcome back inside the broadcast booth here from the Wallace Civic Center in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. So the starting goaltenders, we'll take a closer look at those now for the Corsairs. It'll be Parker Butler, the grad student out of Summit, New Jersey. Butler started the game on Tuesday against the Falcons, let up 5 goals on 32 shots, ended up being credited with the loss, played all 60 minutes. His last road start for the Corsairs came on the 25th of January. It was in that 3-2 overtime loss against Plymouth State. Made 35 saves on 38 shots, allowed 3 goals, and was ultimately credited with the loss.
For the Falcons, Brian McGrath will be back in net. 17th game played of the season, 12-4 record, 201 goals against, save percentage at .940. Exactly 500 saves in the season for the senior.
It's been an impressive season once again for McGrath. As the puck is dropped, we're underway. Sit back and enjoy some Thursday night hockey on tap for you here from Fitchburg, as UMass Dartmouth are able to win the battle in the neutral zone and dump the puck in back beneath the cage of McGrath. Falcons now look to clear it up ice. It's the second line of Bergman, Bouthiet, and Hardy getting the start here for the Falcons. Second line of Perron, Dumas, and Miller as well for the Corsairs. Bouthiet holds on in the near corner. Shoved into the boards by Jake Maynard. Now along the near half wall. Cleared out of the zone by the Corsairs. Down ice comes Miller. He'll dump it in past the red line. McGrath will blocker it off to the near corner as the Corsairs go off for a change. Glover gives it up the far side. Wolford finds Hardy streaking up the middle. Cutting around the defense, working his way in. Save made Butler. Puck loose. It's cleared back out now by UMass Dartmouth. Thrown back in by Miller. And the Corsairs charge up ice. Left side. Shot goes off the shin pads of Josh Miller, taken by Cade Hanley. Now thrown over to the near side. Hunter Fortin holds on here. Brings it out of his own end. Against the red line. He's caught up by Michael Mania. Falcons give it back to the defense to have to regroup. Wyatt Wilmshire tries to dump it forward. Anthony Siolan holds on now. Looks to give it over. Picked out here by UMass Dartmouth. They now try to move back up ice. UMass Dartmouth in their road blues here tonight. The white numerals, white lettering across the front of the jersey that says UMass Dartmouth. Falcons in their home whites with the green letters. Here's Anthony Siolan, tries to play it off the end boards, loses a handle on it. Picked out here by UMass Dartmouth. Corsairs move it up ice. It's kicked by Melker Kroon. Carries it into the zone, but he's wiped out by Zach Diamond. Now Corsairs once again look to re-enter. Puck thrown in, wrapped around the boards, met on the near side by Derek Brittner. Thrown back down to the near corner. Kroon holds on, gives up to the point, thrown off the end wall by Pat Twombly. Met by Zach Diamond on the other side, and he'll flip it out. Played off the glove of Stefan Perrault, and he will bat it out of play. And so we'll have no further play. Face-off set to come toward the center dot here at the Wallace Civic Center. 17:48 to go in the first period. Third line out there now for the Falcons. Toivo Kramer, Oliver Cookson, Zachary Diamond. Fourth line out there for the Corsairs. Weinbrenner, Winsick, and Harlow. Given back to the Fitchburg defense. Cookson plays it off the wall, trying to find Diamond. Stripped away by the Corsair defense, but Kramer crashes over to the far side, and he picks up the puck, trying to keep it with him. Doubling back for a moment is Cookson. Falcons try to keep it in the attacking end. Here's Kramer holding on, tries to find Diamond, finds Cookson, a drive. Save made by Butler. He'll absorb the shot with 17:23 to go in the first.
A lot of improvisation on that last rush there after the misplay, the turnover, and that drop pass looking for Kramer, but instead finding Cookson. Still able to get a really good shot on the graduate student netminder and Butler, but Butler able to gobble that one up.
Face off to the glove side of Butler, quickly cleared out here by UMass Dartmouth, but it'll be thrown the full length of the ice, and it'll come all the way back down. Right once again to that glove side of Parker Butler.
Interesting they give Butler the start again after the sort of rough game a couple of nights ago, but you look at the goaltending for UMass Dartmouth, it's been struggles all season.
Howbig on the left side unleashes a shot. Butler another save.
Yep. 895 save percentage for Parker Butler. Daniel Davidson, junior netminder, has an 893. And Chris Stangerone, who's played in 2 games, an 887. All of them with goals against above 3 as well. Seems like whoever they throw in there, they get about the same performance out of all of them. And I think Eric Nowak, the 6-year head coach, would like a little better out of his keepers.
It really has been bizarre. That's one of the big notes coming into this game is just kind of the goaltending woes here for UMass Dartmouth. You have both Butler, who's a veteran with this program, played all the way back many years ago for this team. Granted, he took some time off, took the last 2 seasons off to be exact, but Played back in 18-19, had a decent season for the Corsairs as Wolford holds on here, tries to walk in, but it's blocked by Austin Miller. Kicked back out of the zone by the Corsairs. Up the left side now, here's Perone. A shot that rides up high off of a Falcon stick into the protective netting. Face off to come to the blocker side of McGrath. And then you have Daniel Davidson, who was looking like an absolute stud back in that 2019-2020 season for the Corsairs. Had a great year for the Corsairs, and unfortunately this year just hasn't been able to put together the same numbers. You look at what he was able to do that year. Had a goals against average of .201. A save percentage right around .938. I mean, he felt like he could have been the guy for quite some time for UMass Dartmouth as a freshman putting up those numbers, but this year he really just has not been the same goaltender, as both he and Butler have kind of been bouncing back and forth trying to get out of their own funks.
Basically, and Davidson had that tremendously long shutout streak as well, one of the longest in D3 history.
He did, and so yeah, I think it's really to everyone's surprised the way that the goaltending situation has gone this season for UMass Dartmouth. As the puck comes back out of the zone, Corsairs trying to attack. They'll look to enter along the far side. Peralt dumps it in. It'll be wrapped around the boards. Comes over near side here from Elker Kroon. Throwing back down low. Egan Wolford holds on. Tries to play it further up. Held along the far blue line by Jake Maynard, junior out of St. John, Indiana. Now it's along the near side here. Hunter Forden holds on back in his own defensive zone. Anthony Seolden along the near half wall. He's able to clear it cross ice to Egan Wolford, carrying it up the left side now. Wolford holding on, his shot. That'll ride high up into the protective netting. Stoppage in play with 15:35 to go in the first period.
Yeah, look in the early going, it seems like UMass Dartmouth struggled a little bit to really get to their game. Haven't really had anything in terms of a grade A chance on McGrath yet.
You know, they have not had all that many chances so far, but they have the pieces on offense, no doubt, to be able to come knocking on Fitchburg's goal throughout this game. As puck now thrown up to the near side. Here's Brittner, tries to clear it out. It's held in by the Falcons. He'll have to go further back into his own zone. Pass along the far side. Elliot Bergen plays it over. Now it's cleared into the zone. Justin Brittner trying to muscle ahead is Salem's Bryce Grennan. Battle along the near wall here. Brought down was Winsick. Now it's back beneath the net of McGrath. Josh Miller gets it up to Hardy along the wall. Thrown on McGrath. He'll bat it with the paddle and catch it with the glove off of the shot from Bryce Grennan on the left side. And we'll have a stoppage. Exactly 15 minutes to go in the first period here.
A couple of those players, it's like the two biggest players in terms of point scorers for this Corsair team, Dylan Raiden and Kai Kaposi, both of them fifth-year players for the Corsairs. I remember them as freshmen being big contributors back on this team that made it to the MassCAC championship game.
Yeah, they've continued what's been an excellent season, and when you talk about a guy in particular, Dylan Raiden, currently leading the conference in points scored. He's just been on an absolute tear, averaging just over 1.5 points a game, close to 1.6. Which is the highest total in the conference. Last time UMass Dartmouth had the leading scorer in the conference was back in that 2019-20 season, the last full season played. That was Stephen Leonard for the Corsairs. Had 13 goals, 20 assists in 28 games played. As Cousior tries to throw it toward the front of the net. Cleared back out of the zone here by the Corsairs. Here's Perone, thrown in. And Josh Miller's first one to it. Wrapped around now, near side. Cookson holds on. Skating along the goal line. Here's Raiden. Puck ends up going off the end wall. Cookson once again finding it in the corner. Tries to throw it out of the zone. Stephane Perrault ends up holding on. Perrault's got it now. Throws it into the left shin of Josh Miller. Miller now battling beneath the net, trying to get possession of the puck from Mania. Out in front, save made by McGrath. Kai Kaposi forcing the issue down toward the net mouth. Falcons looking to clear it out here. Kept in by Kaposi. Drive, fought off by McGrath. Ends up coming back out of the zone now. Corsairs will have to get back on sides. Falcons go for a change. Josh Miller picks it up in the near corner. Now Kaposi holds on here, tries to center it, but instead it's found by Hunter Fortin. Fortin now shakes around the check from Pat Twombly. Now back off the end boards. Far side, Maynard gives it right up to Holmes, who tries to let it fly, but Kai Kaposi blocks it with the body. Thrown back in by Jack Johansson. And held on to now here by UMass Dartmouth. Johansson making his home debut here tonight for the Falcons, I believe, as it's going to be a stoppage in play.
Johansson, a mid-season ad from Milford, New Hampshire. That's not too far from here, only a few towns over up to the north. He's a construction management major, 3 games played.
A transfer student out of SNHU has joined the Falcons now. Heavily recruited by Dean Fuller, as he put it to me, back before the Salem game last week. So Falcons able to get another big piece on defense. Just as a freshman, has a commanding presence, 6'2". Comes in at 195 here just as a freshman. Johansson now plays it off the wall, chipped out by Ciola. Fortin now trying to battle along. Johansson stands up. Elker Kroon at the blue line, and it's thrown in by Holmes. Wilmshurst plays it out around a defender. Now here he is coming into the attacking end. Off to the far side. Wilmshurst chips it down low. Picked out down low now by Bergen. He'll hold on. Carries it out from beneath the cage of Butler. Passes it up near side for Kroon. Kroon now enters on the left side. Blocked by Glover. That'll end up in the corner. Kroon will go off for a change. Kroon not too happy with himself after that shift. Now here's Bouthiet along the far wall. Trying to carry it out of the zone. He's knocked off of the puck, and it's thrown right back in by UMass Dartmouth. Attacking in the left side of the ice here. Winsick tries to play it out and finds it once again. Looks into the slot for Harlow. But instead, Bergman now coming away with it over the red line. Now into the UMass Dartmouth zone. Backhanded down low by Winsick. Comes around near side. Hardy holds on, finds Bouthiet some space. Shot save made Butler. Bergman couldn't put away the rebound. He was hounded in front by, looked to be Weinbrenner. As now UMass Dartmouth back out of their own end. Elliot Bergen throws it down the full length of the ice, and we will have an icing call here. 11:39 to go in the first period. Shots right now in favor of the Falcons, 4-3.
One thing I am noticing with UMass Dartmouth is they're not hesitating to lay out the big hit if they feel like they've got the opportunity. We've seen quite a few booming checks into the boards in the run of play.
Here's Wolford top the left side of the line. His drive deflected out in front, ends up in the near corner. Now UMass Dartmouth carries it out. Blake Harlow moves it out of the zone. Carried right back in by Kramer on the right side. Trying to work around the Corsair defense. Here he is once again on his backhand. Finds Diamond, tries to unleash it. Blocked by Justin Weinbrenner. Now here's Cookson holding on, atop the far wall. Kramer trying to pick it out down low. Cookson crashes to help him out. Diamond can't stop the clear from the Corsairs, and it finds its way back to the Falcon defense. Going right back into the UMass Dartmouth zone. An icing call here. Face-off set to come back inside the Fitchburg zone with 11 minutes to go in the first period. This is the 7th game this season that Fitchburg's played on a Thursday. Their record on Thursday this year, 6-0-0. Oddly enough, have not lost a single game on a Thursday this season, outscoring opponents 31-11, averaging about 25% on the power play and 88% on the penalty kill, including 2 shorthanded goals on a Thursday back in the season opener earlier this season.
Feels like it's their lucky day.
Now puck back in the defensive end. Nearly cleared out in front by UMass Dartmouth. Nobody there to put it away. Now held on to along the near side by Fitchburg. Go clear it out. Wolford plays it over for Diamond. Enters along the left side. Leaves it back for Wolford. Walks in left circle. Tries to center it. Met by the skates of a Corsair and Stefan Perrault. Now it's back out of the zone. Cookson tries to dump it in, but he'll go off for a change. Corsairs back up ice now. Here's Dumas. Left side. Trying to work around Miller. Picked up down low now by Austin Miller. Macchione bumps Miller off the puck. Josh Miller now tries to hold on. Here's Archambault. Working up the right side now. Here's Tumanis, this fourth line, trying to put in some work. Had a couple of nice shifts the other night against UMass Dartmouth. Now a battle beneath the net of Butler. Archambault comes away with it. He's got it on his backhand. Tries to cut toward the front of the net. Holding on here. Still unleashes a shot. Finds traffic in front. And drops down low. No shot recorded on the opportunity for the Falcons Puck still batted around, loose out in front. Picked up here by Miller along the right side. Lets it go. Archambault has it on his stick now. Tuminous holds on. Tries to find Archambault once again, but caught him offhand. And now puck stuck in the near corner. Here's Macchione. Holds on. Goes cross ice off the far half wall for Tuminous. Tuminous cycles it back down low. Archambault trying to chase after it. First one, too. It's going to be a Corsair. And that'll be cleared all the way back down ice. Good shift there from that fourth line. And we've been seeing it more and more from that fourth line. The likes of Cole Archambault, Michael Macchione, Corey Tuminous have been putting together some excellent shifts for Dean Fuller on that fourth unit these past few games. Now along the far side, Hunter Fortin tries to walk in. Puck pokes back out, and UMass Dartmouth going to clear it out of their own zone. Holmes holds on here, back of the defensive end, plays it right off the skates of Jimmy Pelton. Cleared high up off of glass by Wilmshires, kept in the zone nicely by Cade Hanley for the Corsairs. Out in front, shorthand chance, or not shorthand, rather short angle chance by Jimmy Pelton right along the goal line. Tried to tuck one past the near post of McGrath. Now Halbig battling down beneath the net. Plays it around the far side. Cross ice. Picked up here by Ciolan. Now plays it for Fortin along the right side. Tries to dangle his way through. Loses it. Tries to battle back for it now. Picked up here by UMass Dartmouth. They'll move it along. Brittner walks in. Loses the puck. Holmes pokes it free. And now here's Fortin. Cross ice pass finds Bergman. Plays it along the blue line, backhands it into the zone. Second line making their way out there now for Fitchburg. 7:53 to go in the first period. Still scoreless here from the Wallace Civic Center. Fitchburg out shooting UMass Dartmouth 4-3. A big hit along the near side. Justin Weinbrenner sends Brian Glover down to the ice. Puck comes back out of the Fitchburg zone, held onto here by Peralt. That'll be thrown in just left of McGrath. First one to it, Egan Wolford, junior out of San Jose, carries it up the far side. Poked along by Bouthiet. Bergman tries to spin it into the zone. That'll be picked up here by UMass Dartmouth and cleared back down ice. So back and forth here as both teams looking for clean entry. No icing. Last off of a Corsair. That'll find its way all the way back beneath the net of Butler.
Just like strong defensive efforts between these two teams, especially in the last few minutes. UMass Dartmouth has been filling the slot with bodies, not letting the Falcons get a clean shot and a clean path to Parker Butler.
Now the team really been able to set up on offense these past few minutes. Here's Bergman, throws a cross ice, finds Hardy. Hardy along the near goal line, has it chipped off of his stick by Stefan Peralt. Now back along the near wall. Diamond crashing in. Kept thrown back out of the zone by UMass Dartmouth, and then Wolford dumps it right back in. Puck thrown over to the near side. Diamond tries to move it further ahead. Now it's picked up here by Wolford. Wolford moves along, gains the blue line, finds Kramer. Now Diamond a drive, glove save made by Butler. And Egan Wolford came crashing in after the fact, ran into the glove hand of Butler, and UMass Dartmouth didn't appreciate that quite too much.
Shots on goal were stuck on 4-3 for an awfully long time. Finally, that shot from distance, and enough time for Butler to track that, ensnare it with the left hand.
5 out there right now for the Falcons. Toivo Kramer, Zachary Diamond, Oliver Cookson, that third line, and then defensive pairing of Adam Cousior and Josh Miller. Puck sticked off to the near corner. Cookson plays it back, trying to find Kramer. Cousior has to crash it. Now played along the far wall. Diamond can't keep it in the zone. Now quickly back down ice come the Corsairs. Kept in by Kaposi. Up ice rush from Mania fell apart thanks to the defensive efforts of Josh Miller. Now out in front of drive, just whistles wide past the blocker side of McGrath, and they score! UMass Dartmouth squeaks one past McGrath. It's Michael Mania who puts UMass Dartmouth up 1-0 with 5:55 to go in the first period.
I don't know if that got tipped along the way, but one thing that I noticed was McGrath was trying to sort of reposition his body as the puck was coming to him, and I think at that just critical juncture, that brief moment where his left pad was lifted off the ice, the puck snuck right under it and into the net. The Corsairs had gone about 6 minutes without a shot on target, got 2 in quick succession there, and they've got the opening strike in this contest.
As UMass Dartmouth wins the opening faceoff, they come right back in the attacking end, and that puck just flutters over the stick of Derek Brittner. Couldn't settle it down to get a clean shot off. Chance in the high slot. Melker Kroon has it knocked off of his stick. Holmes tries to clear it out of the zone. Macchione backhands it, kept in by Cade Hanley.
Mania assisted number 14, Dylan Raiden.
As the puck's
Number
thrown
11,
into
Kai
the
Kaposi.
Fitchburg's bench, and so it's going to be Michael Mania, his 8th of the year, assisted by Kai Kaposi, his 10th assist of the season, as well as the conference leading scorer, Dylan Raiden, who now has 20 assists on the season, put him up to 31 points on the year. Fitchburg's only allowed the first goal this season 8 times out of the games they've played this year. Record of 4-4 when conceding the first goal, as UMass Dartmouth tries to get an extra lunge in at McGrath after he covers the puck, and Fitchburg State taking exception of that. Both teams exchanging fists now beneath the net of McGrath as referees continue to peel players off of the pig pile. And both teams starting to get loud here as the energy starting to really pick up here as we head towards the later portions of the first period.
Ultimately, an 8-man mosh pit in the left wing corner after that, and an extra punch there.
Macchione gets an extra couple in on Justin Weinbrenner. Weinbrenner 6'7". Macchione coming in at 5'10", nearly a foot advantage for Weinbrenner, but Macchione gets one on him.
May very well get an extra 2 for that as well. Looks like 1 Corsair, 2 Falcons in the box. Could very well be the first power play of the night coming.
Yeah, not sure what they were going to assess before we saw those late punches there for Macchione. Already perhaps on his way to the box, figured he'd get another one in. Either way, not the kind of energy you want to be putting into this game right now. Your team down by 1. I suppose you want to try to jumpstart them, and we've seen it happen a couple times this season, Daniel, where the Falcons will be kind of slow either to start the game or to start the period. They'll allow a goal, at times even 2, such as in that Framingham game, 2 early goals for the Rams. Then the Falcons have come back multiple times this season and retaliated with a flurry of offensive opportunity. But interesting to see the a sudden slowing of the game right after the UMass Dartmouth goal. So we'll see what exactly is assessed here in a moment. And we'll see. So just to break it down for you, Michael Macchione in the box right now. Looks as though, I want to say Christian Halbig as well in the box for the Falcons, and then Justin Weinbrenner in the box as well.
Corey Tuminous' number is up on the board.
Tuminous is in the box, although I don't believe I see although maybe I do see a 7. I don't know. Tough to read the side patches when they're sitting and staring right at you.
We're over 100 feet away from it, though.
And so the only penalty on the board is a 2-minute minor assessed to Corey Tuminous, as you pointed out, Daniel. And so it'll be 5-on-4, power play opportunity here for the Corsairs, as matching penalties assessed to Macchione and Weinbrenner. Once again, we'll look to get you the details on the penalties as they're named in a moment here.
Michael Macone and number 17, Corey Tuminous.
As play back in the UMass Dartmouth zone, Corsairs try to clear it out. And they'll look to enter the zone. They enter along the left side, just over the blocker side of McGrath goes the shot from Michael Mania. So the Falcons' penalty kill so far this season, right about 87%. That's the top mark in the MASCAC. Falcons, Ryan Glover without a stick right now, so 5 on 3.5, you could say, as Bouthiette able to get in the lane and block a shot right off the stick of Dylan Raiden. That'll be thrown all the way back down. Penalty killing unit will get a change-off. Power play for the Corsairs, standing at about 18.6%. That's good for 3rd in the MASCAC. They'll hold on back beneath their own net. A minute gone, and the penalty to Corey Tuminous. Just about 4 minutes left in the first period here. Perone enters the zone. Backhander across the line to Austin Miller, a drive. That goes wide, ends up off of glass. Now battle along the near wall. Kept in. No, that'll actually squeak past the stick of Elliot Bergen. Oliver Cookson has got a shorthanded tally this season, trying to chase after Bergen down in his own zone. Now up the far side, Perone walks in, dumps it down low. Backhander from Cookson, picked up by Miller, and That'll be rifled the full length of the ice. 17 seconds left on the penalty to Tuminus, 3:30 to go in the first. And Thomas Hardy has his stick stripped away from him by Michael Perrone. Ends up raising his arms, looking for a call, and then after Michael Perrone is assessed a penalty, Hardy ends up giving him a bit of a grin. And so it'll be 4-on-4 for the next 9 seconds, and then we'll see 1:51 seconds of power play time for the Falcons.
Not the smartest idea there by Mike Perrone there to commit the interference call 60 feet away from the puck. Just lost his emotions for a brief moment, and for Perrone, he's a pretty disciplined player. His 20th game of the season, that's just his 3rd penalty of the campaign.
So it'll cost his team a man for the next 2 minutes. So officially, the penalties for Tuminus and Weinbrenner were, I believe, for roughing.
Macchioni's was roughing as well.
Macchioni, yes, also roughing. Tuminus out of the box now. And so some 5-on-4 play for the Falcons now. Fitchburg's power play looks like this, averaging about 25% on the season, a little over. That's good for first in the conference. Here's Hunter Fortin along the left side. Holding on here. He's got a team leading 4 power play goals. Gives it back to Josh Miller. His drive caught along the top of the crease. Hunter Fortin deflects it off into the glass, and it's cleared all the way back down ice by UMass Dartmouth. Penalty killing unit for the Corsairs. They have a pretty good penalty killing team. Right about 86%. That's good for second in the conference are the Corsairs.
Coming into this week, they were first in the conference, but the Falcons getting a couple power play strikes on them on Tuesday knocked them down to second and the Falcons up to first.
Now here's Hunter Fortin trying to carry it up ice. Tied for second in the conference in goals scored. Batted toward the front of the net. Tumbling puck stopped along the near blue line by Brian Glover. Now Hunter Fortin dances through the defense, gives it back down low for Reese Bergman. He has it pop off of his stick. It's slapped all the way around and kept in by Toivo Kramer. Now puck along the far wall. Hardy holds on here. Second power play unit trying to work their way out there. Fortin, Bergman still out there from that first power play unit. Glover trying to crash over, and he has it knocked out of the zone. Just 22 seconds left in this first power play of the night for the Falcons. Glover leaves it back over for Diamond, trying to work his way through, but he leaves it off for Dominic Dumas instead. Now here's Dumas working on Glover. Glove save made McGrath. He'll hold on. And the shorthanded bid is no good for the Corsairs. 8 seconds left on the interference penalty to Michael Perrone. 1:28 to go in the first.
It feels like the Corsairs are trying to concentrate more on defense than anything in this contest and try to really suffocate the Falcons' offense and limit their number of shooting opportunities. Falcons on just 6 shots on goal in this contest with 1:28 to go in the first.
Face-off one back by UMass. Another glove save made McGrath off the point blast from Stephane Perrault. We'll do it again. Face-off once again to the glove side of McGrath. Just 4 seconds left now on the penalty to Perrault. One back again by UMass Dartmouth. Another shot from Perrault ends up going off to the right-hand side. Held on to down low in the near corner. Now it's peeled away by Toivo Kramer. Back to 5-on-5 as Diamond tries to bring it up ice with him. It's batted back through a couple of Falcons by UMass. Now along the far side. Austin Miller walking in. Diamond tries to pick his pocket. Here's Johansson now beneath the net. Plays it off the near wall. Cookson now able to outpace his man. Brings it along the right side. A sliding body keeps it on the stick of Cookson. Now it pops out in front. Here's Bergman, a drive. Goes off the right wall. Here's Johansson now. Tries to keep it in. Bergman can't keep it in either. Batted out of the zone by UMass Dartmouth. And there's going to be a face-off to the near side here. Near dot just outside the UMass Dartmouth zone. Not sure what the stoppage was for exactly. Actually, it's going to come to center ice.
Yeah, I don't have an answer on that one either.
Third line out there, second line out there for the Falcons. Gene Bouthiette, Reese Bergman, and Thomas Hardy. Out there for the Corsairs, that fourth line of Weinbrenner, Winsick, and Harlow. Backhander up to Bouthiette, tries to feather it into the zone. Corsairs right back the other way. Here's Harlow. Tries a low angle shot at McGrath, goes off the skirt of the net. Wolford tries to pick it out far side. It's picked up by Weinbrenner. Back to the point of drive off the right toe of Brian McGrath. UMass Dartmouth able to chip it in further now. Glover plays it around the glass. Wolford tries to get a grasp on it. As the seconds tick off, the first period comes to an end. It's 1-0 UMass Dartmouth, thanks to a goal coming out from UMass Dartmouth's Michael Mania, his 8th of the year. Puts them up 1-0 after 20.
Other than that, though, pretty even period I felt between the two teams in terms of how they were carrying momentum. Fitchburg had some good stretches where they were able to get some time of possession in the Corsair zone. It's just a challenge of getting shots through a lot of bodies. These Corsairs willing to give up their bodies to block shots to try to make it easier on Parker Butler. Butler has faced just 7 shots in this first period. He's stopped them all. McGrath with 9 saves. I feel like the one he didn't stop is one that will probably frustrate him a little bit.
Yeah, it was sort of an awkward shot. It was a weird angle right along the near wall. Ended up squeaking right by him. Did not beat him cleanly. Just sort of trickled into the back of the net before anybody realized. It took a moment, but ultimately counts all the same. And so with that, we will leave you. It is 1-0 UMass Dartmouth after 20 minutes of play, about 15 minutes, and we're back for the second period of action. Don't go too far. You're watching Fitchburg State men's ice hockey here on FATV.
Back here at the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University. 1 period in the books in the back half of this home and home with Fitchburg State University and UMass Dartmouth, and it's the Corsairs of UMass Dartmouth leading by 1-0 on Michael Mania's 8th goal of the season. Daniel Bolak, Tim Foley here with you. Travis Falk on camera and doing all the other magical things to get us on the air. Happy you can join us here tonight. 10-7 were the shots in the first period in favor of UMass Dartmouth. It was an interesting period.
Yeah, it really was. You know, UMass Dartmouth, they came out and they responded how you would want to respond as a team after losing 5-1 to these very Falcons just the other night. They came right back out. They've got a better feel now for Fitchburg at this point in the season, and they put together a very solid first period that found them up 1-0.
And so our officials tried to drop the puck before the countdown clock actually expired, it seems, or before they were actually ready to put the 20 minutes on the board. Now they've got the time on the board. Now we can play some hockey. The second 20 underway here from Fitchburg. The Falcons in the home whites going right to left in this second period. Corsairs in the road dark blue uniforms going left to right. In the neutral zone, Gene Bouthiet has that go out of his reach. D to D to Glover. Now Bouthiet at the red line. Passes up right wing, shot blocked in front. A lot of blocked shots, I have to imagine, for UMass Dartmouth. As they gain the red line, dump around the boards. Picked up in the right wing corner and crunched into the boards there, Austin Miller. Now stepping up in the corner, Dominic Dumas. 2 Falcons trying to win the puck from him. And again, 2 players, both sides, now trying to dig at it on that board battle. Fitchburg ultimately prevails. They take control of the puck. Long stretch pass misses the mark. Race to the dots. And it's going to be icing against the Falcons. Looked like about a dead heat, and the tie goes to the defense.
Well, you mentioned it a moment ago, Daniel, about the block shots, and it does really feel like that. Both teams really have laid their bodies on the line so far here tonight. A lot of blocked rubber through that first period of action, and only so many shots through that first period. 10-7 in favor of the Corsairs.
Felt a little low. There's the first shot of the period on target by UMass Dartmouth, and Brian McGrath will take his 10th save of the contest. And Fitchburg will happily use the opportunity to change lines. Couldn't do so on the icing, but now with that shot gobbled up, they can. Anthony Ciolin to take the draw for the green and gold. They'll win the draw. They did win the majority of draws in the first period, 10-6 in the Falcons' favor. So they've got the top line out there. Dumas tries to move it out of the zone, and the Corsairs will pick it up on the near side. Here's Raiden. His shot stopped by McGrath as he shuts the 5-hole. Rebound cleared away by Fitchburg, and Hunter Forden on the red line, backhands into the zone. Around the boards to the left wing corner. Griffin Winzik sent into the boards. But the Corsairs able to throw the puck into the neutral zone. Falcons will clear and re-enter. On the right side of boards, throw towards the goal. Butler scrambling around a little bit. Is able to make a stop there. They still jam away at the puck on the near side. Eventually comes free to the slot. That one in! Off the iron, and in it goes! And the Falcons have leveled it just like that. It's like Adam Kusior got the shot there from distance, and what a rocket it was.
Yeah, definitely the best chance of the night, I'd say the Falcons have gotten. They battled down low for the puck, and they're finally able to get it out up top to Kusior, who was wide open, had a pretty good look at the net, and placed that really just about as perfectly as you could have. Looked like it hit the junction of the post and the crossbar, and it was a perfectly placed shot for Kusior.
A most satisfying sound for the goal scorer. Kusior's got his first goal of the season, and Tim will tell you how long it's been since his last goal.
Yeah, for Kusior, it's actually been quite some time. It actually was another game against the Corsairs back on December 5th, 2019. So over 2 years ago, back in that 1920 season, 34 games it's been since that 2-1 victory here in Fitchburg.
And number 11, Anthony Ciolin.
Forden and Ciolin get the helpers on that goal for Kusior, breaking a long scoring drought. Lone Canadian on the roster from Tecumseh, Ontario, makes it a 1-1 hockey game. On the right side, the Falcons will throw it around the boards, out to the near side. And back around, UMass Dartmouth taking it. Jimmy Pelton floats it in the air into the Falcons' end, where Jordan Holmes will glove it to the ice. Cole Archambault up the right side, gets a little bit of space, tries to get the shot, but had to shoot through two Corsairs. One of their sticks deflects that into the netting and out of play. 3:01 gone in the second, 1-1 the score.
And then as coming along with that, Kusior goal, Ciolin the assist. And he's just continued a great stretch for the Falcons this season. Of course, the junior out of Simsbury, as that one's rifled up and out of play. Coming into tonight, Ciolin, 9 points in his last 8 games, making now 10 points in his last 9 games. He's also got 5 goals goals in 5 of his last 8 games. And so it's really just been a continued steady production from Ciolin on offense this season.
Continues to go at over a point a game. 15 points in 13 games. That one sent yet again into the netting. And we'll have another face-off. I think it was the last 3 draws of all those runs of play have all ended with the puck into that netting. It's getting a lot of work out there.
But yeah, but this kind of lends itself to what I was saying a bit towards the end of that last period, as it's cleared all the way back down now. Fitchburg, sometimes they'll start slow, they'll allow a goal, but then you see them come right back out with a lot of energy. And here in this second period so far, Fitchburg's been the team bringing the energy. And here they are forcing UMass Dartmouth to wait for them to make the move as they now move back up ice.
In UMass Dartmouth, it feels like they're trying to play a more defensively sound game today and try to limit the number of opportunities the Falcons have. Fitchburg does have 3 of the first 5 shots in this frame and the goal from Kusior. Behind the net, McGrath. In his own end, Brian Glover. Captain leaving for another. And Egan Wolford from the penalty boxes, backhands into the zone, quickly settled down. Bouthiette with a shot, looking for a redirection. Butler juggled it for a little moment, but the puck goes wide of the net. And UMass Dartmouth quickly will throw it down from end to end. Bergman in the center circle, backhanding it into the Corsair end, where it'll be picked up by Pat Twombly. Twombly throws it around the boards. And being squeezed into the boards in front of the penalty box is Dominic UMass. Fitchburg will take control, try to come back 2-on-2, but a third Corsairs reinforcements in Austin Miller will break that up and put it back into the neutral zone.
Fitchburg playing really physical here in this second period. We saw a big hit from Miller wiping out a Corsair along the boards, and then Bergman doing something similar there to keep the puck in the neutral zone.
Felt like UMass Dartmouth was bringing the physicality as well in the first period, and Fitchburg is now upping their tempo to match. Puck popping free for just a brief moment for the Falcons. As Kusior able to settle in control, finding Bergman out to the red line. Settled by the Corsairs, re-entering is Raiden. Raiden's shot Dribbles well wide, but picked up loose on the left side. Trying to center for a shot. Nothing really coming there. Fitchburg to the neutral zone. Hardy spins and throws it into the zone.
And you know, that's something that Coach Fuller will tell you if you ever talk to him about this Fitchburg team, is that this is a skilled enough team that they need to be setting the tempo night in and night out. They have the potential to be dictating the pace of play. They certainly don't want to let a team like UMass Dartmouth take it to them.
And Raiden with tremendous moves to the goal. He scores! And UMass Dartmouth does find a response. Raiden storming in. Might have been another Corsair with the finish. Melker Kroon will lead the handshake line. Could be goals in consecutive games for him as the Corsairs take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, it was Raiden who had walked in and brought it right toward the net mouth, and then it was Kroon backdoor who ultimately punched it in. So as you said, back-to-back games with goals for Melker Kroon. That'll put him up to 6 on the season, and UMass Dartmouth responding nicely to Fitchburg coming out and upping the intensity here in the second period. The Falcons finding themselves in a dogfight here just about 5 minutes into the second rather.
Goal for UMass Dartmouth, scored by number 21, Melker Kroon, assisted by number 14, Dylan Raiden.
So Melker Kroon adds to his account. Graduate student from Malmo, Sweden, makes it a 2-1 hockey game in his side's favor. Macchione will chase after that puck in the Corsair end, left wing corner, trying to keep control. 2 minutes. Backhands for the right circle, no Falcon there. And a one-on-one as Peldon tries to bring it up. And nothing more to be done. To the neutral zone, Guy Silverstein. Out to the far side boards. Cade Hanley flipping it up into the corner, where Wolford will settle it behind his own net and slow it down a little bit. 13:20 to go in the second period. UMass Dartmouth leads 2-1. Fitchburg trying to hit that stretch pass off the boards. 2 minutes, gains the blue line, tosses into the corner for Macchione. But Hanley will take the puck away. Cross-ice pass by Bryce Grennan, knocked down by the Falcons back into the Corsair end. UMass Dartmouth try to come out again. To the Falcons' blue line it'll go. And Fitchburg will have a go now. From the far side boards, Toivo Kramer. Settles at the right circle. Now going to goal, a shot. Zach Diamond getting in there, but Parker Butler sticking with him and making the stop.
And now we'll see if Fitchburg's able to bounce back and retaliate the way that UMass Dartmouth did after Fitchburg scored their first goal. I mean, we haven't seen all too much of it this season at home for the Falcons, where they've been in a whole lot of dogfights. Fitchburg has been excellent on home ice here this year, so we'll look to continue along here today.
And delayed call goes against the Falcons. Interference is indicated, and UMass Dartmouth's going to have their second man advantage of the night.
Yeah, just unfortunate there for Josh Miller. He tried to fend off the Corsair who had dumped it around him, but ultimately ended up getting his hands on him a bit too late as the puck was dumped past him. So referee determining that that was interference, and we're going to see another UMass Dartmouth power play here.
UMass Dartmouth 0 for 1 on the man advantage tonight, but a solid power play coming into tonight as well. Thrown around the board, about 19% or so.
Joshua Miller, interference.
So Miller for interference. Bringing the Corsairs to the man advantage. Still try to bring the puck up with 20 seconds gone. Drop pass and Silverstein dumped there by Jordan Holmes. But Austin Miller trying to follow on with a drive in towards goal. Then brought out to the point, a shot blocked, a second chance. Silverstein dumped again. Left circle, a shot, lots of traffic there. McGrath's got it, he holds. And the Falcons taking a bit of exception.
Boy, man, you can really feel these two teams don't like each other. Just saw each other the other night. UMass Dartmouth trying to respond after that tough 5-1 loss. Coming up here to Fitchburg's house, trying to take down the currently second seed in the conference. And UMass Dartmouth, I mean, they have been, it feels like they've really been running this game. Fitchburg came out with a good start to the period, brought some energy, scored a goal, but UMass Dartmouth, they've been able to come right back, get a goal, and physicality just continues to ramp up on both sides here.
And now right out in front, a couple great chances. Another shot, save, rebound, another save! Some really good chances for UMass Dartmouth. As you said, they've got the pressure on. As Cookson tries to get a shot towards goal. But now the Corsairs, again, tightening up defensively as they have to transition from one zone to the other. Fitchburg, though, does have control of the puck and will try to kill some time with a game of keep away as Glover will throw it down the ice in the direction of Butler. He'll stop it with the backhand and leave it for Jake Maynard. 37 to go on the power play for the Corsairs, 11-10 to go in the second, 2-1. UMass Dartmouth in front. Melker Kroon's sixth of the season restored the advantage for the Corsairs. Blast from Maynard off his skate, another shot off the side of the net. Quickly picked up there and another Corsair dumped to the ice. All in one motion going for the puck, sending the Corsair down, and the Falcons clear it. 10 to go on the advantage. Corsairs taking their time. Try to get one quick rush. There's Winzik. Can't get a shot cleanly away. Falcons are back to full strength. It'll take a couple seconds for that fifth man to get into the play. As Fitchburg now clears it down the length, but it will go for icing. Silverstein goes to the dots. Stop the clock with 10:20 to go in the second, 2-1 Corsairs.
That was a really good power play for UMass Dartmouth. That was a really good power play. They were developing a lot of chances in the attacking end. They were able to set up and take a lot of drives. Sent one off of their own player and that ultimately came out of the zone, but a lot of really good looks. Fitchburg, I think, lucky right now this isn't a 3-1 game.
Officially given 2 shots on goal during that power play. Felt like more. They were buzzing for a lot of it. When you've got the Falcons defense in desperation mode with the puck deep in the slot at the top of the blue paint, but Fitchburg able to stave that off. Now here's Zach Diamond into the zone, trying to carry it all by himself to goal. Scores! Tremendous individual effort by Zach Diamond. 2-2 the score.
Are you kidding me? Zachary Diamond with just an absolute beauty there. Streaks his way through the neutral zone, carves through the defense, and then is able to finish on Butler to tie this game. I mean, this has just been an exciting game so far here, about midway through now. That is just the kind of goal you need from a player like Diamond to just step up and put it on his stick and tie this game.
Tremendous, tremendous goal there by Zach Diamond. There are a lot of defenders he had to get around. He was able to get around everybody, and he made himself a breakaway on Butler and beat him to tie it. Miller trying to find Seolin, offside.
15, Zachary Diamond, unassisted.
He tried to do it all by himself. The official scoring said he very much did it all by himself.
Yeah, and that is now his 10th goal of the season. Coming into today, leading all freshmen in the MASCAC in goals scored, has now extended that lead up to 10.
Second on the team in goal scoring behind Forden, who has 12. But now a 2-2 hockey game, so we're halfway home. Here's Wyatt Wilmshurst. On the right side, 2 defenders to get around. Not finding the success there. Corsairs back to the red line where Kuzior, he had the first goal for the Falcons. Dumping it in, Pat Twombly engaged in battle with Forden. Forden holds at the blue line, tries to spin it into the left circle. Seolin go around the boards for Wilmshurst, top line out there for the Falcons. Having a little trouble settling themselves down. Gloved on clearing attempt, Seolin trying to settle in the slot, get it to the left side for Wilmshurst, and he's going to commit a tripping penalty. He had his stick out there, and when he saw the Corsair go down, he knew he was going to be sitting.
Yeah, particularly frustrating for Fitchburg because they felt that when Wilmshire first entered the zone about a minute ago, they thought a couple of arms on the bench thought that he was interfered with, and then ultimately ends up going to the bench. And so now this is exactly what you don't want if you're Fitchburg. You've just tied this game, but this power play for UMass Dartmouth has proved so potent here tonight. They haven't scored on it, but they've looked so good, and you really don't want to give them more opportunities than they've already got.
Fitchburg will try something with a 2-on-2, but Reese Bergman will actually double back, play a little bit of keep away there. Realize at this moment the more important thing is to take those seconds and run them down on that red clock on the big green scoreboard. In the zone comes Michael Mania. Had the first goal for UMass Dartmouth back in the first. That was the lone strike in that frame. To go under 8 minutes to go in the second in a 2-2 hockey game, but a minute 20 on the power play for UMass Dartmouth. Haven't quite set up quite yet. But now they're settling in. Raiden on the right side will switch with Kai Kaposi. His shot cut down in the slot. Another chance from the left side from Raiden. Goes wide to the right. Into the corner, Bergman trying to keep control of the puck. Battling with two Corsairs in the right wing corner. Out of the half boards and cleared by the Falcons. Fresh legs will come on for the green and gold. 45 to go on the advantage for UMass Dartmouth. They'll now skate it up from Jake Maynard, going up the center of the ice to the near side for Griffin Winzik. Winzik sent to the boards as he puts it around to the left wing corner. Jordan Holmes first to arrive. 4-5 players trying to dig at that one. Rugby scrum-like effort against the board. Silverstein keeps it in on the right point. Back behind the net for Winzik. He's put into the boards as well. He'll get it back. Passing back and forth. Now to the point. Right circle, pinballing Austin Miller. Can't do much with it. 5 seconds on the advantage for the Corsairs. Trying to get one more shooting opportunity. There is a great shooting opportunity. McGrath with the save, a juicy rebound, a breakout pass looking for Wilmshire out of the box. Was knocked down fortuitously for UMass Dartmouth by the defenseman, and Fitchburg ultimately able to dump it in. Toivo Kramer's going to get to that one as it was rimmed around to the far side. Fitchburg shepherding it into the left wing corner. Corsairs trying to go back around far side, Josh Miller. Into the corner. Corsairs trying to bring the battle to the boards. A lot of physicality, especially against the boards in this contest. Nice poke and play, and here is Austin Miller with a shot and a pad save by McGrath. Cookson trying to knock that rebound away. The shot for McGrath. He'll stop that one as the puck goes off the boards. Doesn't touch the netting. Very interesting trajectory on that. Here's Diamond, who has the tying goal. He'll turn around and protect. Cookson for Kramer in the left corner. Kramer turning around again, engaged in battle there with Pearl. Now at the point, Josh Miller's shot goes off a skate blade and ricochets into the left wing corner where it's cleared out of the zone and settled by Adam Kuzior.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Fitchburg. It just went off the leg of Diamond as he was going down to the ice and ends up clearing back out of the zone.
Feeling like it's a low shooting game right now in terms of shots taken. 18-13 in favor of UMass Dartmouth with under 5 to go in the second. Here's Kaposi trying the self pass. He's got Raiden as reinforcement. Raiden will take it on the left side half boards. Wilmshire's trying to poke that out of the reach of Maynard, who kept it in the zone. Kaposi trying to settle his stick. Left side, Mania. Tried to feed Kaposi, back for Mania. Left point, and flubbed out there by the Corsairs. They'll have to back up and reset. The pass looking for Raiden on the right side, intercepted by Seolin. The Falcons rainbow it out of the zone. Offside though, Ford's ahead of the play. 4:17 to go, second period. Fitchburg State 2, UMass Dartmouth 2. Falcons with their goals from Adam Kuzior and Zach Diamond, both in the second period. Michael Mania for the Corsairs in the first. Melker Kroon, goals in consecutive games against this Falcon side. He has the lone strike for UMass Dartmouth in this second period. Corsairs will take the draw all the way back in their own end. Try to regain the real estate. Not going to do it that way. Icing called. Webpage not found on the scoreboard. 4:04 as the faceoff will come to one side of Parker Butler. Butler with 11 saves in this contest, looking for the bounce back after conceding 5 against the Falcons 2 nights ago. 16 for Brian McGrath, some pretty solid ones. Draw battled for, eventually controlled by UMass Dartmouth. And sent high down the ice, hopping, skipping, and jumping into the zone. Kroon can't settle the puck before Glover dispossesses him. And out of the zone it goes. Silverstein battling with Jean Bouthiette as the puck makes its way into the Corsair zone. Falcons have it, trying to go right to goal. Backhand chance. Can't get it cleanly off. Hardy keeps the run of play going, but his passing attempt knocked down by the Corsairs. Into the Falcon end. Fitchburg will settle. Take from Bergman. Corsairs trying to tangle it up on the far side near the Falcons bench. And UMass Dartmouth has it from Weinbrenner. A few times we've seen the Corsairs, come back, reset, regroup. And we're going to have a tripping call here. With 3:07 to go in the second period. Being escorted to the sin bin is Bryce Grennan. The extra skater playing just his 5th game of the season. Pick up his first penalty of the campaign. The Falcons scheduled to have their first 2-minute power play of the contest. Wilmshurst will take control of the draw as it goes to Ford at the left circle. In the corner. Falcons move around. Back to the point for Miller. Wilmshurst. Can't keep a handle on that one, and the Corsairs will dump it down. McGrath will get to it in the left wing corner. Into the corner where you can't play it if this was the NHL, but this is not that. And Fitchburg will settle and try to reset with 30 seconds gone on the advantage. The blue line gained and immediately lost. Corsairs send it right back down to McGrath, who again will leave it behind his own cage.
Not a great first half of this power play here for Fitchburg. Already about 50 seconds gone, and they haven't really been able to muster a presence in the attacking end.
Looking for more power and oomph on the second half of the advantage. But right now, just having trouble really settling it up. Bergman trying to find Forden, but cleared out of the zone again. Josh Miller will go and collect. Griffin Winzik, though, providing some strong forechecking pressure, makes him retreat behind his own net. Now the stretch, Bergman takes it immediately. The Corsairs send it back down again. And coming down there is Derek Brittner. Brittner joined by Pelton. So again, putting it against the boards, trying to run that penalty clock down. Now 25 seconds to work with. Here's Diamond. Diamond in the zone. Backhand! Just missed the net there. He'll retrieve the puck on the left side boards, go for Glover. On the right side, Bouthiette. Brought to the boards. Falcons trying to get top of the slot. Diamond, a high riser, just a bit too high as he tried to aim for that top right corner. Penalty is up now. Back to full strength is UMass Dartmouth with 60 seconds to go in the second period. Up the right side, a quick shot from Jimmy Pelton, and Brian McGrath will batten down the hatches.
It's a nice save by McGrath. Knew that one had to be coming from atop the right circle. Corsairs really didn't have an option down the right side as Glover was able to maintain a presence back on the defensive end. Force that puck back up top, and McGrath square for the save.
17 saves for the senior netminder, the all-time save leader in Fitchburg State history. Cole Archambault up the left side. Deposited into the zone. Tuminous over skates. Leaves. Shot saved by Butler. Rebound pops to the right wing corner. Falcons will collect. Try to settle. Johansson can't keep it in the zone. 35 to go in the frame. The left side pass out of the reach of 2 minutes. Corsairs go D to D on the far side. Kaposi trying to make the touch on to feed Michael Mania. Comes around to the left side. Corsairs trying to move it along again. Johansson. Now further on, Falcons from Jordan Holmes. Out of the zone with 8 seconds to go in the frame. Dumped in. Falcons have no reason to play it out from here. Corsairs are just going to let the Falcons run the clock down. And through 2 periods of play, a 2-2 hockey game.
That felt like the most complete period of hockey we've seen a team play against the Falcons here in Fitchburg so far this season. Yes, Fitchburg was able to score 2 goals in the period, but they kind of came from these one-off opportunities where you had Diamond streak into the attacking end and rip one past Butler, and then Kustior was able to ultimately bat one in after a scrum down low. But ultimately, it felt like UMass Dartmouth came out. They played a really complete period there, and they took it to Fitchburg. Physicality was picking up throughout that period, as it was early in the first. It continued along here in the second period, and I have no doubt we're going to see more of it in the third. So I feel it's really going to come down to who's going to be able to sustain the physicality that this game has lended itself to this point in time. I think that's ultimately who's going to come out on top in this one, having it be a tied game right now.
I know I didn't have the opportunity to watch the game on Tuesday between Fitchburg State and UMass Dartmouth, but I get this impression that this was not the kind of game that UMass Dartmouth was playing down in New Bedford on Tuesday night. They've definitely brought the physicality, and they've done a solid job in controlling the run of play. And as you said, Tim, those 2 goals for the Falcons, Kustior's shot was basically a seeing eye shot that went through a lot of bodies and somehow found that top right corner and basically the elbow of the post off of that and in. And then Diamond was a goal that was a nothing play up until it became a something play.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so Fitchburg's going to have to come out and try to play their style. I know we talked about it a bit where Fitchburg, they're the kind of team that should be dictating the pace of play, and they really haven't been able to do that, it feels, at any point so far here tonight against UMass.
Yeah, just UMass is playing a strong defensive game, sort of cocooning a little bit, but they are definitely limiting the chances. Only 12 shots officially for the Falcons through 40 minutes. That's low, especially for a Fitchburg State team that averages 37 a game. That's low. And even though they're holding the Corsairs to just 20, it's 10 shots in that second period for UMass Dartmouth, just 5 for the Falcons, although 2 that beat Butler. I didn't have to say saved by Butler that many times. But right now, it's when the puck is in the Corsair end, it feels like UMass Dartmouth's doing a much better job in controlling the play. So we're going to take the second intermission break here from the Wallace Civic Center. Fitchburg State 2, UMass Dartmouth 2 through 2 periods of play. After about 12 minutes or so, we'll be back with the third period, so don't go away. This is Fitchburg State Ice Hockey on FATV.
Welcome back inside the broadcast booth here from the Wallace Civic Center. A 2-2 game between the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs and the Fitchburg State Falcons here after 40 minutes. Goals coming out from Michael Mania and Melker Kroon for the Corsairs. For Fitchburg, it's Adam Kustior and Zachary Diamond. And here we are, a tie game. Fitchburg, when tied after 40, it's only happened twice so far this season. They're 2-0 each event that it has occurred. Fitchburg has been a great third period team all season long, outscoring opponents 29-12. And for the Corsairs in the third period, well, they're getting outscored 24-19. So if you look at the trends, the way the teams have played so far this season, you have to think this third period favors the Falcons. But with the way that the game's gone so far, it feels like UMass Dartmouth has been in the driver's seat a bit here. And so they're going to have to, Fitchburg's going to have to try to find some way to really turn the tides of the way this game's gone so far.
It's always challenging to beat a team 3 times in one season as well, which is what the Falcons are trying to accomplish tonight against this Corsair side, especially a side that they just played and beat 48 hours ago.
And we're going to have a face-off come back inside the Fitchburg zone. And you mentioned it, faced off against UMass just 2 nights ago. back on Tuesday the 8th. A 5-1 victory for Fitchburg, but you wouldn't guess that that's how UMass Dartmouth came out on Tuesday night, as this has been an entirely different game here tonight. Face-off one back in the defensive Fitchburg zone by Brian Glover. Falcons still in their home white, skating from left to right in this third period. Corsairs in their road blues, skating from right to left. Puck all the way back now in the Fitchburg zone. Wolford's first one to it. He'll wrap it around the far boards. Nobody home, either a Corsair nor Falcon. And that's going to be an icing. It'll come all the way back down inside the Fitchburg zone with 19:17 to go. Just 43 gone here in the third and final period. Who's it going to be? Who's going to walk home the hero here tonight? Gene Bouthiette on the draw on the near side. 0 for 10 on faceoff so far here tonight. 0 for 9 coming into the period. Lost the opening draw. There's his first win of the night. Egan Wolford plays it off the end wall. Gets it around to Reese Bergman along the far side. Bergman has to play it back down further within his own zone. Finds Wolford. Puck now trickles out in front. Loose out in front. Save made McGrath. Dylan Raiden stood out in the low slot and he batted it toward McGrath as Fitchburg was playing around with the puck in their own defensive zone, and it nearly cost them this tie, Daniel.
Yeah, playing cute in front of your own goalie can be a little frustrating if you're the goalie, especially if the other team forces the turnover and causes you to get beat. I'm speaking from experience here, by the way. But interesting you mentioned Bouthiette struggling on the faceoffs. The Falcons had won 16-22 going into this period when Bouthiette wasn't taking the draw.
Now here's Seolan. He'll flip it into the attacking zone. Chases right after it, and he upends Cade Hanley. Hanley goes head over heels into the boards and is slow to get up in the far corner. This will send Anthony Seolan to the penalty box and put UMass Dartmouth on the power play just a minute 15 seconds into the third.
They signal tripping, and the referee had his arm up before that player ended up in the boards there for UMass Dartmouth in Hanley. Good to see he's okay skating back to the bench, but yeah, not the great, sort of a scary tumble there. And Seolan will sit for 2 minutes and think about what he's done.
So Hanley, as you said, good to see him up on his feet. Junior out of Bozeman, Montana. Got 2 goals and 4 assists this season for the Corsairs. He'll take a seat for a moment. For now, he'll let the power play unit go to work for the Falcons. Penalty killing unit out there now. Michael Macchione, Oliver Cookson, Adam Cousteau, and Joshua Miller. Power play unit out for the Corsairs. Right now you have Michael Perrone out there alongside Melker Kroon, Austin Miller, as well as Griffin Winsick. Puck comes back within the Fitchburg zone. Sky Silverstein also out there for the blue and gold. Puck nearly picked out by Cookson in the near corner in the UMass Dartmouth zone. Corsairs skate out from right to left and dump it in. And it looks like Melker Kroon perhaps took a bit of contact, makes his way back to the bench, shaking his head a bit as he takes a seat. A high stick called, last touched by a Corsair, delayed high sticking, ultimately touched up by UMass Dartmouth's Austin Miller. And the faceoff set to come to the glove side of Parker Butler here in the UMass Dartmouth zone. A minute 10 to go, in the tripping penalty to Anthony Seolan. 17:54 to go in the game. Gene Bouthiette on the draw on the attacking end. One back by UMass Dartmouth. Held on to here now by Jake Maynard. Maynard, he's got a goal and 15 assists. He'll carry it out from beneath his own net. Leaves it back now, left for Michael Mania. Gains the line, skates along the right side. Halbig forcing him down low. It's brought around now along the near wall, pushed back down low. Mania finds, or no, rather, Kaposi found it for a moment. Backhanded out from the near corner by Halbig. Held in along the line by Maynard. Walks the blue line. A drive save made by McGrath. He'll absorb that one for no further play. 17:25 to go in the game. Still another 40 seconds on the penalty to Anthony Seolan.
Yep, I wonder with Maynard's 15 assists, how many of those assists may have come from shots from the point that might have gotten tipped along the way. Felt like that was something they were shooting for there on that shot.
Being a part of this power play unit, would not be surprised. This puck finds its way all the way back down ice. Back beneath the net of Butler. Out in front, Bergman nearly was able to strip it away down beneath the net of Butler, but now up ice come the Corsairs along the right side. It's still in Raiden, the captain. Cross crease, can't find net. He nearly had a teammate in Derek Brittner back door. but Brittner unable to keep up with the puck. There was some daylight there between McGrath and the post. Could have been the difference for UMass Dartmouth. Anthony Ciolin out of the box now, 5-on-5 once again. Zach Diamond holds on. Onto the ice comes Cookson. Diamond now still with it, shielding the puck away from Maynard along the near side. Holds on here, knocked off his stick and batted out of the zone. Well played by Maynard. Diamond still pressuring here along the near side. Cookson battling as well. Finally picked out by Glover. He'll backhand it up to Kramer, who took a big piece of contact. Does get it up to Diamond, who unleashes it, goes high, ends up off the glass. Now it's right back down low. Kramer holds on. Still has it here near side. Could have matched the career high in points last time he was here at home against Salem. And 2 goals and an assist. Now here comes UMass Dartmouth back the other way. Oliver Cookson's knocked off the puck. He's able to clear it out of his own zone nonetheless. 15:56 to go in the third period here. Brian McGrath holds on beneath his own cage. Flipped high up out of the zone. Egan Wolford able to get it cross ice. Hunter Fortin tries to dangle it through Pat Twombly. He's stood up. Now here's Wilmshurst, tries to play it along. Fortin now finds it along the near wall. Skates in beneath the net. Shakes around a couple of Corsairs. Hanley pins him up against the board. Now the puck loose in front. Wilmshurst, a spinning shot. Can't find the net. Butler able to make the stick save along the ice. Deflected off into the far corner. Corsairs back off ice now. Far side. Here's Jimmy Pelton, the assistant captain. Loses it back for Melker Kroon. And now it's picked up here by Ciolin. Falcons with a 3-on-2. Cousior and Fortin in stride with Ciolin. Ciolin down the right side. He's brought down to the ice. And that's going to be a power play coming up here for the Falcons. Tripping going to be the call against the Corsairs. To the box is going to be Sky Silverstein. 15:08 to go in the game.
That was just a really sloppy stick out there by Silverstein. Ciolin going to the ice, and the Falcons will get the power play. You mentioned it, that the Falcons have only twice entered the third period tied. They won both those games. One of them was that very first meeting against UMass Dartmouth in this building back on November the 18th.
And that was part of a 4-game win streak for the Falcons to open up the season. Fitchburg trying to match that with another 4-game win streak should they be able to pick up the victory here tonight. That would be tied for their second best win streak of the season. Had that 5-game heater to open up 2022 before running into Plymouth State up in Holderness, New Hampshire. Back out of the Fitchburg zone, but it's thrown right back in by the Corsairs. And we saw it last period. Fitchburg had a man advantage, but they really, not only did they really not get any shots off, they struggled to just get into the zone. And here we are again about midway through this power play. Fitchburg hasn't had all too much of a presence in the offensive end. Here's Diamond now trying to skate his way up ice. Works his way around the captain, Raiden. Puck's brought down low, thrown all the way back down ice by Cade Hanley. And the penalty killing unit will get a change here for the Corsairs. Top power play unit out here for the Falcons. Hunter Fortin brings it up the left side. Gains the blue line with speed. Poked off his stick by Hanley. He's able to regather. Now here's Miller. Moves it back for Fortin. Falcons finally set up in the attacking end. Here's Miller. Wilmshurst now right side. 35 seconds on the man advantage. Here's Fortin into the slot. Ciolin tries to backhand it. Still stuck. Wilmshurst a drive. That goes off the left shin pad of Pat Twombly. Comes back out now for Josh Miller. Skates the blue line. Gives it over for Fortin. Back up to Miller. Plays it with the backhand. Once again for Fortin into the slot. Ciolin tries to find Bergman. It just rolled off the heel of his stick. Now here's Fortin. Gains the top of the zone. Fortin now stands along the near side. Centering feed for Bergman. Can't deflect it out in front. Power play expiring here out of the box now. Silverstein. Here's Fortin. Down low, tried to find Bergman. It skipped off of his stick along the goal line, and the Corsairs will clear out. And the clear attempt shoveled up into the stick of a Corsair along the bench. Looks like it might have gone off of Ryan Mascali. And face-off set to come back inside. No, that's going to be just outside the UMass zone with 12:57 to go in the game.
Falcons on just one shot in this third period of play, and not getting a whole lot in the power play. Just UMass Dartmouth playing a strong diamond formation on the advantage, and two best penalty kills in the MASCAC, and two of the better ones in the nation as well, both in the top 15 nationally.
Here's Oliver Cookson now up the right side, able to get it around the likes of Ryan Miscali. Centering feed, can't find anybody out in front. Now here's Holmes, a weird angle, and they score! Jordan Holmes finds Oliver Cookson, and the Falcons take a 3-2 lead with 12:34 to go in the game.
I think we talked about it during the intermission. On the 2 goals the Falcons scored in the second, both of them were a case of, does this look like this is going to be a goal 3 seconds before it happens? It feels like more of the same here. Holmes throws it in front, Cookson with the redirection, and the Falcons have their first lead of the night. Say it with a question mark, because I was having trouble believing it as I was saying it.
And I mean, you mentioned it, Daniel, just one shot so far in this period prior to the goal, and doesn't take more than a single shot to put it in the back of the net, which is ultimately what Cookson was able to do there off the deflection from Holmes. So for Holmes, that is his 2nd assist of the season. For Oliver Cookson, that is his 4th goal of the season. And it looks like Zachary Diamond's going to get an assist on that as well. So for Diamond, that's his 7th assist of the season. That puts him now up to 17 points, leading all freshmen in the MASCAC with 17 points. Puck thrown into the UMass Dartmouth zone, takes a strange bounce off of the end boards. That allows Cole Archambault to race in and play it. He now has it along the near wall. Anthony Ciolin picks it up, tries a low angle drive, ends up being wrapped around all the way out of the zone. And I feel this comes back a bit too for UMass Dartmouth, the goaltending. These have been the first 2 were pretty decent opportunities for Fitchburg. As out in front, Wyatt Wilmshire tries a one-timer. He can't get it to go. Comes back up to the far point now for Wolfer to drive. Goes off the end wall. That last one there, a messy deflection out in front. You want to hope you can have that as the puck's coming in from the far side. And so now for Fitchburg, it's 3 goals on what's only been 15 shots here tonight. Save percentage right now for Parker Butler sitting at 80% as Wolfer holds on. Backhander out in front for Wilmshire, nearly put Fitchburg up 2. Wilmshire was crashing in, and Wolfer did a nice job racing down low and putting it back out in front to try to find his fellow junior. UMass Dartmouth trying to find the Falcons in the middle of a change. Left side, centering feed. Chance out in front, it won't go. Justin Weinbrenner nearly tucked it in near side after receiving a feed from Blake Harlow. 1 goal lead here for the Falcons, 10:30 to go in the game. Reese Bergman plays it further up for Bouthiette, gloves it down, plays it into the attacking end. Stopped down beneath the net by Parker Butler. Far side now, Bergman plays it down low. Miller holds on, tries to give it up for Hardy in the high slot, goes off a body over toward the far wall. Now it'll come out along the far side. Corsairs from right to left into the attacking end. Maynard holds on in the corner. He's got some space. Ends up putting it right onto the stick of Josh Miller. Cousior now comes away with it. He skates out from beneath the net. Hardy tries to play it along. Has to go back further into his own zone. Now holds on beneath the cage. 9:46 to go in the game here. Hardy skates out from the far side of underneath his own net. Bergman will pick it up and dump it into the zone.
Now we see the Corsairs taking their time again, letting the Falcons finish the line changes just as they take the moment to reset and regroup.
Here's Diamond in the attacking end for Kramer. It goes off of glass. Now along the far side, cleared out by Dylan Raiden. Up ice, here comes Michael Mania. Gains the zone. Loses it off his stick in a race with Jordan Holmes toward the puck. Batted out in front. Chance for Raiden. His shot goes wide left to McGrath. Now a nice pad save made by McGrath. Posted up along the post. As now Diamond back left to right. Tries to center it for Kramer. Picking it up is Holmes, the trailer. Here's Kramer, a shot. That goes wide left. Now here's Tumanis. Batted off of his stick by a Corsair. 8:47 to go. A deflection out in front by Diamond. Christian Halbig sent it into the slot, and Zachary Diamond with the hand-eye coordination on full display. Nearly batted that one into the goal mouth. Comes back out of the UMass Dartmouth zone, and Christian Halbig will throw it right back in. 8:31 to go in the game. Carried up ice here by UMass Dartmouth. Up the left side, Corsairs gain the attacking zone. Derek Brittner had it for a moment, opts to give it down low, wrapped around the boards for Melker Kroon. Centering feed, they score! Derek Brittner snipes the top shelf to tie this game 3-3.
Just setting up so deep in the slot, waiting for that feed. He got what he was looking for and got the shot he wanted. The strong release, barred down to equalize for UMass Dartmouth.
UMass Dartmouth were making some nice rotations in the attacking end, and it ultimately ended up resulting in a nice chance for Brittner to walk right in. And so for Brittner now, that is his 6th goal of the season. We'll have to see who's credited on the assists, as down in the corner, Stefan Perrault.
Scored by number 24, Derek Brittner, assisted by number 14, Dylan Raiden.
So Raiden, another point for Raiden here tonight. He has had a helping hand on every single goal so far here tonight. 3-assist night here for Raiden, as that shot rises up off the chest of Brian McGrath. He'll make the glove save. Egan Wolford battling with Dominic Dumas briefly after the whistle. And the two will be separated and will go off for a change. 7:45 to go in the game. A tie game now. Derek Brittner, once again, his 6th of the season. And for Dylan Raiden, he's now up to 22 points on the night. Or 22, excuse me, that'd be rather absurd. 22 assists on the night and 33 points so far this season. Immediately a shot and a save as Bouthiet on the draw. This one picked up here by Hardy. He's quickly out of his own zone. Now gains the blue line, knocked off the puck into the boards. Bergman now chasing after it down low. Bouthiet tries to center it. He had plenty of room, but he gave it away right to a Corsair out in front. He was hoping somebody would be there in the slot, but there was nobody there. Bit of a hasty pass from Bouthiet, as now it's cleared back out of the zone by Bouthiet. Backhander up to the near side, carried in by Miller. Tries to center it. McGrath will get a glove on it. No further play. 7:10 to go.
We had a look earlier during the intermission on what the season low for shots on goal is for Fitchburg State in the game. That was 28 against Southern New Hampshire, a victory at the Stovepipe tournament, condemning the hosts to 4th place in their own tournament. Just 17 shots for the Falcons through 52 minutes and 50 seconds of hockey tonight.
Yeah, this has been a very hard-fought game by UMass Dartmouth. They have put together one of the more complete performances we've seen against this Fitchburg State team so far this season, at least here at home. Of course, most of the losses Fitchburg has suffered so far this year have actually come on the road, so we haven't seen a team play like this against the Falcons really all year long, as McGrath able to get the cover on. And of course, in each of the wins that Fitchburg's had here, it's always felt like they've really been in control of each of those games. So that's why I only mentioned the losses, because those are the only games that Fitchburg really has felt like they've struggled in. No win has felt like a dogfight this year, really, for the Falcons. They've either won handedly or they've battled to a loss. So we'll see what's ultimately able to come of this contest here tonight.
There are definitely those moments where it feels like it's getting a little scary, especially when they conceded the first 2 goals to Framingham early on. The first few minutes of that game, it's like, is this really happening? Are the Falcons really down like this?
But hardly for a whole game has it ever felt like a team has really been able to hang in with Fitchburg. And that's exactly what UMass Dartmouth has done so far here tonight. Again, at least on home ice, that we've been witnessing this season, as it comes now back into the defensive end. Pass out from the corner. Low angle chance for the Corsairs. Just kept in along the blue line by Hanley. A drive goes off the pad of Cookson. Now they're off to the races. Here's Oliver Cookson down the left side. First one to it. He'll leave it back for Diamond. Walks in a drive. Right elbow save made by Butler. And it's played up to the point now. Johansson can't keep it in. Kramer tried to pass it back up to him. Ends up being stripped away by Raiden and carried out of the zone. Now here's Diamond in the attacking end. His shot goes high off of glass. Near side now. Up ice come the Corsairs. Dumped in by Kaposi. Here's Fortin now, quickly back the other way, up the right side. Going along the goal line, stopped short. Several chances. Parker Butler, the left pad, lays it down and makes several stops. Puck comes out in front. Held on to here by Raiden along the near wall. Now a battle still for it. Just cleared out of the zone by UMass Dartmouth. Here's Johansson, goes cross ice, finds Holmes. Holmes walking in, holds on. Now he'll enter along the right side. Holmes waits, centering feed, tries to find Wilmshurst. Anthony Ciolin gives it back up to Glover. I do like what I've been seeing from Holmes here in this third period. He's stepping up a lot more. It feels like he's being a lot more involved in the offense, and as evident by the fact he was able to record an assist here tonight. As now UMass Dartmouth in the attacking end, a drive goes high off of glass. Melker Kroon let it fly, and it found nothing but glass behind McGrath's net. Now here's Wolford trying to pick it out. Picked up here by Glover. He'll go cross crease, skates around his own net, and he'll leave it back for Wolford. Wolford with some room to run here. 4:34 to go in the game. Thrown in on Butler. He'll cover with nobody near him. Ultimately does decide to play it.
Kind of have to in that juncture. They'll give you delay if you insist on holding it for that long with nobody actively checking you.
As now the Corsairs skate out of their own zone. Jimmy Pelton moves it around the end boards. Wolford now tries to play it along. It's dumped out of the zone by Bouthiette. Wolford trying to chase after it, looking to be the first one there. Bergman can't get a glove on it. A couple inches too short on the vertical, as now UMass Dartmouth holds on back beneath their own net. Played up the near side here by the Corsairs. They'll skate from right to left. Picked up by Dumas, left side. Tries to cut toward the middle, instead leaves it back. Now Kaposi tries to put it on net, rather Austin Miller, and it's covered by Brian McGrath. And then we have several scrums going on here. Bouthiette tied up with Austin Miller beneath the net. And then a pair of Corsairs and Falcons out in front. As things are getting feisty here, it's been building up all game long, and the pressure of the moment only being heightened by the fact that it is a 3-3 game, so both of these teams fighting here tonight to try to pick up these 2 points. For Fitchburg, you're trying to maintain standing with Plymouth. A loss does a lot of damage to you in trying to get that top seed in the conference, and then for UMass Dartmouth, still finding themselves about middle of the pack in regards to the next 4 teams within the conference. You certainly don't want to lose any more games because you have a lot of important contests coming up against the rest of the conference. After today, they will go to Salem for a 4 o'clock puck drop this Saturday. Then they'll go to Worcester on Monday, and then they'll go to Framingham on Tuesday. So a lot of games coming up here for UMass Dartmouth as you're trying to start off this very busy stretch here, or at least continue what's been a busy stretch, rather, with important 2 points as they are about to face off against 2 of the big opponents they need to be able to pick up wins against in Salem and Worcester.
A 4-game road trip for the Corsairs starting tonight. The Falcons actually have a very rare non-conference game at this juncture of the season, playing Anna Maria in their next contest on Saturday before finishing off the campaign at Westfield and then at home on Senior Day against Worcester.
And Fitchburg, the team that is off this Saturday, so Coach Fuller opting to find his team an extra game. Poked away by Fitchburg as they look to pressure here in the attacking end. Zachary Diamond trying to hound a Corsair for the puck. Michael Mania is able to pass it off to the far side. DDD pass here for the Corsairs. They now carry it out. Sky Silverstein brings it up near sides. Weaves into the attacking end. His shot deflected, goes above the net of McGrath, drops down beneath the cage, and now it's picked up here by the Corsairs. Silverstein has it skip underneath his stick, and it comes back out of the zone. So it's 4-on-4 here for another minute and 14 seconds. In the box, Gene Bouthiette for Fitchburg and Austin Miller for UMass Dartmouth. Back up ice, Corsairs trying to move it along. Hunter Fortin pestering Cade Handley. Now here's Handley near side. He'll slap it in along the boards. Picked out here by Halbig. Halbig now holds on along the far wall, plays it off the wall, gives it up to Seolin, dances around a Corsair. Now picked up here by UMass Dartmouth beneath the net. Stefan Perrault. Senior out of Greenwood Village, Colorado, tries to bring it up ice. And instead we'll have a stoppage here. Face off. Looks like it's set to come right to the center dot here. 2:19 to go in the game. Still 36 seconds on the matching penalties to Bouthier and Miller.
I wonder how aggressive UMass Dartmouth's going to be in the last 2:19 of this period, especially considering, you know, if this game goes to overtime, both teams are going to get a point in the standings. For UMass Dartmouth, they don't care if Fitchburg gets another point in the standings, as they have no chance of catching them, but that point can help them. So even if they go into overtime with a little bit of insurance if they're playing for that. I mean, obviously they're going to want to win, but I think they're going to try to play a little more defensively sound than normal in the last couple minutes. We see them coming back in their own zone, retreating a little bit, just playing a little bit passively as they hold on to the puck to try to run down this period.
And Fitchburg, mind you, as there's still another 140 left, a chance in the high slot, wide right goes Maynard. As Holmes leaves it back behind the net now for Halbig. Fitchburg has not been tied at the end of regulation once this season. Another minute 30 left to go in the third.
Sorry, I was going to say, have they played 3-on-3 at any point this season?
Don't believe so. As it's now thrown into the near corner, Jordan Holmes holds on here beneath the net. Gives it up to Bergman, now put up by Glover. Fitchburg can't clear it out. Here's Holmes, backhander up to the far side. Bergman, he's brought down, picked up here now by Dumas. Dumas holds on, gives it back up for Hanley, a drive. Looking for the deflection from Michael Perrone, or rather, Hanley, his stick broke, and then Perrone thereafter wasn't expecting it, did not deflect the puck. And now it's kept in along the far line by Pat Twombly. Wraps it around. Put out in front, just skips off the stick of Bouthier. He'll clear it out now. 38 seconds to go in regulation. Reese Bergman has it in front of his own bench. Tries to bring it up ice, but it's stripped away by Mania. Now here he comes down the right side. Egan Wolford's able to stuff his stick, and now back up ice comes Fitchburg. Wolford up for Wilmshire's back for Seolin. Save made by Butler. Oh, Anthony Seolin was trying to be the late hero here for the Falcons, but Parker Butler flashes the leather to keep it tied with 20.6 to go in the game.
Tremendous end-to-end action for the Falcons in that last moment there, and Seolin got himself in the position he wanted, got the shot, but Butler able to flash the leather to keep it level.
So it's this top line here for the Falcons that's going to try to do it. 20.6 to go in the game. Brought back to the near point now. Glover tries to send it in, goes off the stick of Melker Croonen, back out of the zone. Quickly down ice. Here comes Jimmy Pelton, a chance for UMass. Backhander out in front, comes out to the slot, picked up by Fitchburg. 2-on-2. Wilmshire with Fortin far along the left side. Works around the right side. Wilmshire centering. And there's the buzzer. Nobody out in front for Wilmshire to try to put it away. So for the first time this season, we are tied after 60 minutes here from the Wallace Civic Center. Fitchburg 3, UMass Dartmouth 3. A goal apiece here in the third. It was for the Falcons, Oliver Cookson, who was crashing the net as Jordan Holmes threw it out in front. That was able to put Fitchburg up 3-2, but then you had Derek Brittner about 4 minutes later, assisted by Dylan Raiden, find the back of the net to make it a tie game once again. So an intermission here, and then we'll have 5 minutes of 3-on-3. Daniel, is that what it's going to be today?
That is going to be what it's going to be. 5 minutes, 3 aside. First goal wins. Each team has gotten a point in the standings. And so if we have a winner in the 5 minutes, that team's going to get an extra point in the standings. If we don't get a winner after 5 minutes, then we'll just call it a good game at that point. Also of note in the pairwise ratings, each team is credited with 9/20ths of a win and 9/20ths of a loss. And they'll play for the extra 2/20ths on the line. They'll split it if they can't find it. It's one of those weird things about, it was one of the conditions with going to a universal 3-on-3 overtime for everybody, as opposed to leaving overtime up to conferences to decide how they wanted it. the NCAA and the coaches decided they wanted it. So I wanted consistency across the board. Every single game in the regular season should have the same overtime format. And 3-on-3 overtime, as the NHL has done for the last several years, is what they've settled on.
And so what's going to happen is going to be a lot of room to run. It's going to lend itself more to skill, speed, see who's going to be able to get around who. And UMass Dartmouth, they have a lot of skill guys, but of course we've seen the numbers that Fitchburg's put up this season as well. A lot of skill on both sides. But before we get to this overtime period of action, we'll take a quick look around the conference at some other games. Westfield leading Salem in Salem. That's a 4-2 game right now at the start of the third period. And then Worcester up 1-0 on Framingham. That game at the start of the second period over in Framingham. So the first three out there for Fitchburg are going to be Josh Miller back on defense. He'll be back for Zachary Diamond and Toivo Kramer. The three out there for the Corsairs to get it going are going to be Kai Kaposi alongside Jake Maynard back on defense, and Cade Hanley as well, also listed as a defenseman. So it looks like two defensemen for the Corsairs and one here for Fitchburg. As we are underway, Fitchburg wins the opening draw. Josh Miller holds on here, gives it over to the near side. Toivo Kramer brings it up the left side now, enters the attacking zone. Centers for Diamond, tries to find him. Just skipped underneath his stick. Now Diamond cycles the top of the zone, leaves it back up for Miller at the blue line. Tries to bring it down the right side, opts to come back up to the line. He'll give it over now to Kramer. Kramer holds on here. A lot of space out there now as Miller tries to reach back for it, but now here comes Kaposi working one-on-one with Miller. A couple of back checkers back. Miller's able to fight that puck off over toward the far corner. Toivo Kramer leaves it back now for Diamond. Diamond skating up ice. He's able to gain the blue line, and they'll say Kramer was offsides. Tried to stretch that left leg back as Diamond was streaking down ice, but unable to keep it onside, so we'll have a face-off come just outside the UMass Dartmouth zone with 4:08 to go in this overtime period.
Of course, there's 0-2-1 in overtime this season. Of course, their most recent game in overtime was against Framingham, which they lost.
That was ultimately Framingham's first conference win of the season. Now up the near side, here comes Dylan Raiden. A shot, save made by McGrath, and Brian Glover sends Raiden down to the ice thereafter as Raiden continued to work his way along. McGrath eating it up with the chest. 3:57 to go in this overtime period. Face off to come to the near side here. Anthony Ciolin and Hunter Fortin, the forwards out there for Fitchburg, alongside Brian Glover for the Falcons. Three out there right now for UMass Dartmouth. You have Michael Mania along the near side as that one whistles wide right of the net of McGrath, just past his blocker's side. Also out there, so you have Mania, Silverstein, and Raiden, the three for UMass Dartmouth. Here's Silverstein, far side. Hunter Fortin trying to keep pace. Looks to leave it ahead for Mania, but ends up being wrapped around the defensive zone here for the Falcons. Fitchburg holds on. Bouthiet out there now for Fitchburg. Glover going to head off ice. We'll get a change. Joshua Miller back on the ice. Here's Fortin. Cycles the attacking zone, leaves it back down. Miller skates away from it. Bouthiet tries to pursue. Picked up here by UMass Dartmouth, and now they're out of their own zone. Cade Hanley, far side, skates over the middle of the zone. Here's Miller, the right side, off the stick of McGrath. Nearly comes out for Melker Kroon, but Gene Bouthiet got down on the ice to just tip it beyond his reach and prevent the wide open look from Kroon on the far side, who already has one tonight. Here's Bergman now, left side, centering for Bergman, or rather Bouthiet. Can't find him in the low slot. Bouthiet's shot, right pad save made by Butler. That one pokes out for a Corsair right in the slot. 2:33 to go, about midway through this overtime period. Both of these teams looking for the extra point here tonight. Back up ice come the Corsairs. Here's Cade Hanley out of his own zone now, leaves it up for Kai Kaposi. The captain brings it over the right side. He's working around Miller. Picked out here now by Diamond. A turnover for the Falcons. Here they come. Right side, Diamond trying to muscle his way ahead. Tries to shield it with the backhand, and it's knocked off of his stick. Corsairs hold on. Kai Kaposi now back in his own zone. 2 minutes to go in overtime. Kaposi pounding his chest as he will come off for the change. 3 out there now for Fitchburg. Adam Kusior, Wyatt Wilmshire, Toivo Kramer. Corsairs down ice with speed. Left side. That shot goes off the outside of the net. Picked out here now by Derek Brittner. Now far side. Jake Maynard holds on, gives it open to a wide open Raiden. Walks in, finds Kramer. Raiden now cycling beneath the net. 3 assists, looking for a goal. And it's sticked up into the protective netting. Brian McGrath got a piece of it with the blocker. 1:27 to go in overtime.
We see UMass Dartmouth biding their time at moments, but I also was taken aback a moment there by that one big rush. Can't remember what Corsair player it was, but on the far side he held it and then just put on the boost, and here's a 2-on-1.
Now here's Wilmshire down the left side trying to find Hardy. It just bounces beyond his stick. And now UMass Dartmouth holds on beneath their own net. Now it could have been the best chance of overtime for Fitchburg. It's a good chance as Wilmshire was barreling down the left side, almost found Hardy. Now here's UMass Dartmouth in the attacking end. 1 minute to go in overtime. Oh, and nearly a chance there for Derek Brittner. Tried to put it up over the shoulder of McGrath. Fitchburg down ice now. Hardy being battered by Kusior. Delayed penalty here coming against UMass Dartmouth. As Thomas Hardy was working his way down ice, he was hooked up, and so for the last 47 seconds of overtime, Fitchburg's going to have the man advantage. So what happens is it doesn't go down to a 3-on-2. Fitchburg will get the extra attacker here. Anthony Siolan looks like he'll be out on the ice, and instead, actually, we're going to have a moment here. It'll be a timeout. Fitchburg, Dean Fuller going to want to get his ducks in a row here, make sure everyone's on the same play for the remaining 47.6 seconds of overtime.
So we said it's foreign territory for the Falcons. They had not been to overtime this season, so the first time they've really had extended play, 3 aside. And for UMass Dartmouth, the feeling I was getting, the way they've been playing this game, with how they've been filling up the slot to try to block shots, 3-on-3 does not feel like it would be their forte, but once again, they've had the majority of chances in this frame. But the Falcons with the man advantage for the rest of the way, assuming no further shenanigans.
Well, rest of the way, either way, I mean, either the game's going to end one way or the other, or the clock's going to run out. So, so Fitchburg will have the extra man on the ice. We'll recap scoring for you once again very quickly. Michael Mania, the lone goal in the first period. Then Adam Kusior tied it up 1-1 in the second. Melker Kroon put UMass Dartmouth back up in front 2-1. Also in the second period before Zachary Diamond was able to tie it about midway through the frame at 2 apiece. Come the third period, it was Oliver Cookson who was able to score his 4th of the year to put Fitchburg up 3-2, but then Derek Brittner scored the equalizer, making it 3-3 about midway through the period. And now here we are with 47.6 seconds to go in overtime. The Falcons have 4 on the ice. The Corsairs have 3. It's Josh Miller, Wyatt Wilmshire, Hunter Fortin, and Anthony Siolan. Puck finds itself with Wyatt Wilmshire along the far side. He'll go down low for Siolan. Back up top, Miller, far side now. Fortin holds on. Waiting here, top the left circle, a drive, skips in, they score, the Falcons score! They get the extra point and they send UMass Dartmouth back to New Bedford. It took a strange deflection out in front. It looked as though it just hopped over Parker Butler and just dropped right back into the net. And Fitchburg is able to come away with the 4-3 victory, 17 seconds into the man advantage with just 30.3 seconds to go in overtime.
Just a strange shot through traffic. I think it went off the shoulder of Butler, popped up in the air, and landed in the worst possible spot for the goalie in the back of the net.
And assisted by number 26, Hunter Fortin.
So it was Anthony Siolan from Hunter Fortin. So for Siolan, that is his first of the game. It puts him up to 8 on the season. He's now got 15 points on the season, or pardon me, now 16 on the season. And for Hunter Fortin, that is now 14 assists on the season for Fortin, and he's up to 26 points on the campaign. What a finish to this one here tonight. The first game this season that Fitchburg has gone into overtime. They get the man advantage with under a minute to go in the overtime period, and they are ultimately able to come away with the 2 points. What an exciting finish. What an exciting game here, Daniel. I mean, this was a game you perhaps might not have expected with the way that these two teams matched up in New Bedford just this past Tuesday. But for Fitchburg to be able to hang in with this UMass Dartmouth team, because it felt like UMass Dartmouth was in the driver's seat all night long, for Fitchburg to hang in and finally strike when they were able to get their chance in overtime on the man advantage. I think it says a lot about the way this Fitchburg team was able to fight here tonight, that they were able to come away with the win despite not playing their best game of the season.
The Corsairs came back from having lost by 4 goals 2 nights ago. They changed things up a bit. They definitely dictated the pace of play in this contest. They played conservatively. They bided their time, went at it, got some goals. Fitchburg State had to come with lightning strikes, basically. Goals from out of nearly nowhere. And for Fitchburg, they stuck with them and ultimately able to persevere and survive, come away with the big win. And they're going to try to keep pace. You know, they're up to 26 points now in the standings. I mean, 15-5 now, Fitchburg State is 13-3 in MassCAC play. This has been one of their best seasons in conference play in a good long while.
The most points that Fitchburg's ever gotten in conference standings in the MassCAC era is 28. They got that back in that 2009-2010 season. And if they're able to pick up just 2 more wins, or 2 more points, I should say, they'll tie that mark. And then, of course, 29 would be the new mark to try to meet. They will have 2 more conference games to play. They'll be playing at Westfield on the 17th, so that'll be next Thursday. And then the following Saturday, that'll be the regular season finale for the Falcons, a 4 o'clock start time against Worcester State. But before then, they will play Anna Maria here this Saturday in a non-conference matchup.
Yep, that'll be a 5 o'clock start here from the Civic Center. Myself and John Gugerty will have the call on that one. Also want to remind our FATV viewers that tomorrow we will have boys basketball from the Grutchfield Fieldhouse at Fitchburg High School. It's the rivalry on the hardwood. It's Fitchburg and Leominster. Hope you'll tune in for that one. And also, while we have a moment, I want to thank the underwriters who help make our remote productions possible. Workers Credit Union, Rollstone Bank and Trust, UMass Memorial Health, Health Alliance Clinton Hospital, the Sentinel and Enterprise, Unitil, North End Subaru, in Minuteman Press. I guess my last thought is, I feel like if I was going to talk to Coach Fuller after this game and ask, was this a good game? He probably would be feeling a little iffy about that. 26 shots for the Falcons in the end. It's their lowest total on the season for shots on goal. But just like the previous watermark of 28, they came away with the victory.
Yeah, and I think one of the positives you can take away, you know, as you mentioned, not a whole lot of shots in this game. There weren't many shots in regards to just overall volume, but I will say the way that they were able to fight, as we mentioned, down several times in this game, and then, of course, facing adversity when it comes down to the wire and you go into overtime and it's a high-pressure situation against a team that's been playing well all night long, to be able to come away with the win late in overtime like that. At the end of the day, you're happy you're able to come away with the extra point, and you're proud of your team for being able to do so.
For the Corsairs, 3rd time this season, they come out of an overtime with their tails between their legs, their 3rd loser point of the season. It's at least a little consolation they're not going home empty-handed, but it's the first time in quite a while, I believe, that 3 games between the Falcons and Corsairs and 3 wins for the Falcons. And for Dean Fuller, 576 wins now. He's behind 1 win behind John Raleigh, the longtime head coach of UMass Dartmouth. And his all-time mark of 577. Fuller just 1 win away to get to 5th, to tie Raleigh for 5th all-time among coaches in D3 victories.
So once again, the conference standings look like this. Fitchburg State atop the MassCAC right now with 26 points, 13-3-0. And then UMass Dartmouth, they now have a conference record of 5-8-1 and a total of 14 points in the MassCAC as they look to stay ahead of Worcester, Salem, Westfield, and, of course, the rest of the pack there. And so that will do it for us here from the Wallace Civic Center here this Thursday evening. The Falcons are able to come away with the overtime thriller here tonight, a 4-3 victory for Fitchburg over UMass Dartmouth. I want to thank everybody at FATV for helping make this production possible here tonight. Our camera operator, producer, Travis Falk, and of course my broadcast partner, Daniel Bolak. I'm Tim Foley. I want to say thank you so much for tuning into our coverage of Hockey Night here in Fitchburg, and we'll see you this Saturday.